Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode on the ChaosCraft server.
Fire in the hole!
And today, it's another explosive day at the timber. Welcome back, it's myself, Knux1, Maythor, Rue.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
That actually worked out better than I expected.
It looked awesome. Diving off the edge and shit, like an action hero. So what are we doing today? Why have you just blown up half the floor, dude?
Making room.
Making room.
Have to get to the bottom side of the timber. I didn't actually factor in just how low it was versus how high it was going to be, so it's easier to blow it up than to actually mine it. So
I get ya. So
Also,
this is just a demolitions run, so we can build the ship. Well, so you can build the ship, because really you're the only one who's been working on it so far. I just come around and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should change the design. And just be generally annoying like usual.
Then I change it because I listen to you.
You shouldn't. I'm a terrible guide. But no, this is cool. So, how much TNT did you use? This is quite a significant chunk.
I didn't know, so maybe like 7, maybe 8.
You are now officially the ChaosCraft Pyrotechnic then. Well done, you.
I do like explosions, and I'm sure it looked rather significant. I was diving into the water by then, so.
Can I just say
I
that
didn't touch the timber, so it's a very controlled burst.
Definitely the ChaosCraft technician on pyrotechnics. But I just want to say that the texture pack, whatever Peacemaker's done for the explosion texture, looks fantastic. Looks brilliant. So definitely be sure to check this video out, because you were too busy running away from it to see.
Oh, love it, yeah. I heard that YouTube is changing up its format a little bit, so.
How's it going? Where are we? Are we on tour now?
We are on tour. So this is the prototype of the engine room, although we'll probably be adding pistons and moving pieces and things that actually make this actually come alive, which actually is somewhat really exciting. Actually, I would love to see glowstone moving back and forth. I think I have to get slime for that to get sticky
pistons. Yeah, no, that's not a problem though. We can call the market on slimes, I'm sure. And I'm pretty sure there's some up at the arena from when we were making. There might even just be sticky pistons up at the arena you can have. Do you know what I mean? So, because I think we're done with all the piston redstone up there. So this is going to be really cool. So we're hoping to get like the piston on a clock system going, so it sort of brings this room to life a little bit more, makes it look like a proper engine of an engine room, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, things moving back and forth.
So that would be really cool. And maybe even put some water in there for like the cooling system or something.
Oh, why are you making all of this work?
I'm so sorry. I need to stop making suggestions. I'm sorry.
I was wondering why you wanted me to get all that glass. So yeah, you know, I can do. You know, lava system always looks nice, especially if it's moving. So if I get
and that's natural light as well, which is useful.
Very useful. So I mean, I might do. Oh, geez, thinking about it now. Come back out here. Do an exterior wall, because I do have these portions right here.
Yeah, I see that. I walked in from down this stair here, and I saw over in this cubby hole over here, and I was thinking, well, maybe that would be cool if we had like some water in there. But then I looked and I was like, well, if we put it in and fill it in with glass along this line, then we're going to lose engine space and things like that. But if you're talking about maybe exterior wall in it and things like that, then
yeah, if I put the lava there, and if I put up in this little section up here, either lava or water, that wouldn't take away from the actual piston working on the glowstone engine.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I reckon we can fit the clock in this section here. So
all this space, you know, you actually have like the biggest area of the ship. You know, I was thinking like the bridge. I was thinking of the flight deck, which of course we'll go to next.
Of course, Knux gets the engine room.
It's 2 anvils, one out and one in the bag, just for safety's sake.
He has important work to do. You guys like to thrash the shit out of the engine, so he has his work cut out for him, poor sod.
Yeah, you fix it, and of course you bitch about it, and you're like, fuck, I have to build it again? Yeah, sorry.
And I usually just end up making it out of scrap parts, and it lasts longer than the official parts for some reason.
You were the next Kaylee from Firefly.
Yeah, if only, eh? If only. Maybe we wouldn't have lost the timber on that fucking planet if that was the case.
Oh, that was a good story. So this is going to be, as I call it, hydroponics.
Mm-hmm.
I will eventually get some a water system going underneath so that the soil remains dry or wet. Huh?
Yeah. I don't. Hang on. There's a word for it, isn't there? It's not sterile.
Irrigation.
Yeah. Let's just throw loads of farming words out there, and maybe one of them will stick.
I still have my hoe. No, I don't. I have no.
I've got a hoe. I've got a hill hoe. You heard?
You got my hoe? What are you doing with my?
You can have my hoe. I think I took it from the last episode, but.
Oh, beautiful! I love you. This hoe. This hoe is my favorite.
Oh, also, whoever runs the witch farm out in the sort of near the Mesa area, we had to go to your house and borrow a flint and steel. So to let you know that we were there, we put a big sign up for you, saying thank you. Well, it doesn't really say thank you. It's more of like leading to questions. But there you go. So you've been hard at work on here. So this is the new section. So the engine room's a new section, and this section over this side is the new section, but it's had stuff built into it. So it's an old section, but it's had new stuff built into it.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, this is more going to be structural walling. That's going to be 2. So if I need to expand or if I need to contract, that won't be a problem. Excellent. You got the almost finished. I still have to do all the color aspect, and I also have to build the fighter. And the launch rails are going to be...
That's my sound effect. If we could get that in the texture pack, that would be great.
If we can actually attach that to, the sound of the light rail, that would be pretty good.
So cool. So this rail launches all the auxiliary fighters and things like that.
Exactly. And, so 2 fighters, 1 on each side, and then whether or not I'm going to create another piston wall here to open up. You know, I could probably do that to reveal like this wall here to the engine repair bay, which is over here. Ooh. So, you know what? Yeah, I could totally make a piston system.
There you go. That's so excellent. And I like the way you've built with like sort of, so you're using all this stone to sort of mark everything out, and you're also giving yourself enough room to expand from within, if that makes sense. So that's kind of cool.
Well, from the outside, you can see that this prong actually is much bigger than what it actually should be for it, and that's really just to kind of make everything fit. Is it really night already? Did we start?
Crazy. Yeah, I thought we started during the day. We did start during the day because we wouldn't have filmed at night the explosion and that.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But so one thing I do have to ask, obviously, as champion of the assault form, or well, not champion, but sort of Knux is Guardian Force pilot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are there going to be any assault forms, or?
The timber wasn't equipped for assault forms because it's more.
Oh no, that was the obsidian, wasn't it? Ah.
That's the obsidian, but at the same time, you know, I could probably build a couple of prototypes on the Mesa accordingly. Have you seen the actual area to? You know what? Let's see. Moon sets in the west, that's the east, so if you go westward, there's a beautiful valley that will be for the next construction. So if you want to take a quick nap...
Oh, excellent.
Over that way. So
we should also just cover this little back area here as well. This is sort of like your food creation station, and then this all ties in and leads up to the bridge. So I don't think the food creation... That's probably not going to stay there permanently, is it?
The kitchen area may be changed to either the left wing or the right wing. I don't really know which one it is. I kind of like the idea that the kitchen is central because
that's actually a pretty cool idea. And we do have a cook, don't we? Was it this room that was for the chef?
I think we were supposed to have one, but he kept dying. And
he wasn't rejected timber material.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the original idea of the rejected timber was it wanted to be a military ship, and then as the relationships between the crew started to form, it became more of like a family ship, so that was kind of nice. Alright, well, we should go to bed, because why not? Captain's room. You can take the first officer's room if you want. It's got a little bit more space in there for it.
I'm going to take my rightful place in the small room, because my room is usually downstairs, and this is sort of like a little guest room for bridge staff.
Pretty much, yeah, that is your room. So.
There we go. Awesome.
And of course, you know, the pain to get out this bloody because
you need a wooden doormat. I hear wooden doormats are all the rage.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Not a steel plate or an iron plate?
Oh yeah, you might be able to pull that off.
Alright, let's go on a quick little adventure.
Yay, adventure!
Yeah.
So yeah, going back to the assault forms, sadly you are correct that the Rejected Timber did not have any of the assault forms on there. Oh god. But we did have Eve on there. Or Genesis. She was called Genesis in that part of the story, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And she was a mech. I don't think she was an assault form as such. She was more like one of Ruel's Guardian suits that Corey had found when they first found the Alexis all that time ago on our Chaos. If you guys, I apologise to anyone who's watching this. It's like, what the fuck are they talking about? Seriously, go check the forum out because all the stories generated there. You can go check out Feeder Read for all the books that we sell. Shell Shock coming soon, hopefully. Split Personality's already out. But me and Maythor, we have been writing stories on the forum for about... Me and you have been doing it for about 6 years now, in total, I think, between Keeper's Universe and Chaos Nova.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've known each other for about 6-7 years now. And, yeah, all these stories are sort of like... It was me and this other guy to begin with. It was me and Quixote, and we started by getting in an argument with some guys over at another forum and then pissing off and starting our own forum. So that gave birth to Chaos Nova, and me and him both started our stories there, and his character was Quixote Trouble McDermott, and mine was Corey Henderson. And, but we're still developing on... Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh! This is quite nice. It's got quite a flat plane to it as well.
Which is actually really helpful because I was figuring on, look at this waterfront, everything about this place.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, this is really nice down here, man. What's this over here? Oh, these are sugar canes. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's kind of a place where I've been mining and been exploring. So, I mean, there is a little dirt shack that I kind of erected here when I went a little too far when I was exploring because I'm trying to gather up as many materials as I can so that I don't have to keep coming back. And
well, this is out of the mine and exclusion zone anyway, so like as long as it's not in the mesa, go ham. Do you know what I mean? Go crazy. But yeah, going back to the sort of tale, as it were. Back in the day, me and Quixote wrote a story that later became Taking Flight, and in it, this is really diluted. In it, Corey finds a mech fighting suit, which is one of the prototypes for the Guardian suits from Ruel, and it all sort of develops and keeps going on, and then about 6 months into it, or 6 years into it, me and Quixote sort of drifted apart, and he went off and did his own thing, I went off and did my own thing, and that's when you came in, Maythor, and you sort of picked up all the stories. You gave Chaos Nova a second wind of life, a second chance and that, and so it's nice to see that, and this goes back to my original point, that Genesis/Eve, the mech that Corey found in sort of book 1, is still being used in book 100 today. Do you know what I mean? Like, so.
Oh yeah, it's never gonna stop. Actually,
yeah.
I mean, it's like their trump card whenever something bad happens.
Oh hell yes. And then you've got Elder Knux, who's brought Renegade in as well, and like. I'm thinking, I don't know yet, but I'm thinking of maybe having it so Genesis or Eve can fit onto Renegade, and Elder Knux and Younger Knux finally start getting on for once. Do you know what I mean? Like their unity is like a universe-crushing power or some shit. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. I'm on that. But this area is really nice.
I like it. I mean, it's got everything you need. It's got trees. It's got
resources.
It's got everything, yeah. I mean, when I was starting to build in the mesa, I was a little worried that I wasn't actually going to be able to do anything because you need stone, you need everything. But then when you dig down deep enough, you find everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to show you all my seed plantations. Let's just...
Oh yeah.
Hunting through the trees. Which is... Oh, it's too far.
Too far?
Right. I am going to break the game.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Or breaking physics, as I like to say.
if you guys are interested in the forum, all two of you who are currently watching, you beautiful people, if you want to go check out the forum, it is chaosnova.darkbb.com. Feel free to sign up. We had a bit of problem with copyright in the past. Other people stealing our ideas, not us stealing their ideas. It's nothing like that. But yeah, so we have made it so it's a sort of closed forum. You got to log in, and then I've got to give you permissions. But at the same time, it is all worth it to sort of protect our life's work, pretty much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's either we ask people to sign in, or our shit gets stolen. It's as simple as that.
You remember that file I sent you? It has like, oh god, I think it was like 60, 70 pages of both technical data and just research that I've been doing into how particle physics could be used to accelerate weapons and the history.
And the wormhole, where like you sort of open up a wormhole, point the gun barrel through the wormhole and fire it, and then sort of close the wormhole again.
Yeah, the Sheznikov, I think is what it's called.
Mate, crazy tech.
Well, you know, when on the original forum where I was creating the tech, and yes, the tech is actually copyrighted to me.
So no stealing it.
No stealing the idea that you can teleport a a round of highly magnetized
uranium,
like 30 or 40,000 tons round, because I'd like to go big and not go home. So
was there one of your stories ages ago where you started it by detailing one of the weapons, and then like, because the round was so big and because space is like almost infinite, the round doesn't stop traveling. Like, there's nothing to slow it down, and I think one of the other writers picked up on it and was like, he sort of melded it into a bit of his lore. He was like, oh, when I was serving on an old ship, we got taken clean out by this round that just came out of nowhere. None of our radars picked it up or anything, and it turns out to destroy his ship or something, and that's what put him in the position he was in. Alright.
I remember that story,
So there was all that sort of like secondary lore that came on top of your inventions that was just like, oh, this is excellent, and it lends to the combination of the sites. But again, I'm a bit wary about. I love the idea of bringing Keeper's Universe into into Chaos Nova once we disperse certain areas, but at the same time, I'm really worried that there's going to be sort of like, because Keeper's Universe is more powerful than Chaos Nova at full strength. All your writers wrote, do you know what I mean? Like, sort of on a semi-permanent basis. Oh, here we go. And we've only got 3 main writers, but we're dedicated, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Oh, we got 4. I suppose we've got 4 if you count Quixote, and 5 if you count when Kaith is on the forum, when she pops in every now and then.
Well, my friend Matthew Mangum, he's the creator of Keeper's Universe. I kind of just came in and somewhat asserted myself to being the co-writer, and kind of now owns the rights to the website.
Oh, excellent.
He's got a book out, actually, about how the beginnings of the Keeper's Universe came to be, which I think is actually really cool.
Were you not like the like a second editor on that or something, or you had something to do with that?
So, so there were a few chapters where he, I gave him full permission to use my characters, but then the way that he wrote them
was a bit...
it didn't flow well with my character, He made him too scary, too super powerful, and just too amazing. I'm like, my character, although he is strong, he's also human, so he can't be the greatest thing in the world as much as that I would love him to be. He does have weaknesses, he does have problems, but so I rewrote the character and all the chapter pieces that he's in. So, and what's funny is that how the book flows also differs. So how he writes and how I write are completely different, but he didn't really edit how I wrote, so the book does have like 2 chapters where it's like, wait a second, is this I don't understand, but the book by far is excellent. I mean, I would recommend it for young teenagers who really like the idea of science and technology.
Because your technology seems to follow a more researched route. It's not just like, oh, we created this plan. Like, you actually sit and plan it out and like base it off technology that exists today to create future technology and things like that. So it's it's thought out. Do you know what I mean?
Not to mention, I also, make technologies that I can beat everyone else. I mean, one of the factions had a sonic weapon that could melt through or would bypass the shields because it was sound and would melt hull. So I was like, well, okay, that's really difficult because sound waves have, need air to travel properly. So how are you doing that? They're like, well, it's a special component. I'm like, okay, yes, continue, please. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, so they had a problem telling me how their sonic gun was going to work in space. I'm like, I'm all for it if you guys can make, you're making it work on land or like in atmosphere. That's fine. I will totally believe you, but make it real enough so that I don't have to think, well, hold on, sound doesn't travel in space.
That's it.
Yeah. So of course, I have plasma weapons and I have tachyon weapons. Well, how do you do that? Well, using energizing particles from a gas giant, which creates an instability in the atomic structure, which can be directed out using the flow of magnetized wall rails.
Excellent.
And focusing crystals and
absolutely.
I don't even want to think about it because it's just like I haven't even thought about the weapon technology in so long. I've been trying to go back to like the old days of just like, here's a laser. Lasers are good.
See, that's the thing. That's where the Chaos Nova and Keeper's Universe is sort of melded, is because the technology, while sometimes it may be a little extreme, we don't have stuff like sonic guns in our universe and things that don't really physically work. Like the mech suits and assault fighters work because we've got servos and things like that, and the weapons and that sort of thing to fit on them, and the inner atmosphere that they create, and the computer technology and all that sort of stuff. But it works, do you know what I mean? Like, that's where the sort of two universes cross over. We might not do our research, but we sort of look at things that exist in other sci-fis and exist in the world today. So, for example, there are mech suits that can lift, that are used for industrial work, that can lift heavy things and stuff like that. There are also those robots in Japan that are sort of like mechs, do you know what I mean? Like, they're remote control and things like that. So we look at things like that and we're like, well, that exists then, and well, it's a bit boring there. We need to put the Chaos Nova sort of edge on it. We need to give it that sort of like, oh, Corey Henderson, Alex Turner, John Tahu, do you know what I mean? Like, we need to give it that edge. So we develop on things that we've seen, and we take pieces and bits and pieces from other places. So we don't, whereas you guys would have done the research and you would have started from scratch on your things, we take bits and pieces from like other things. So like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but we don't steal ideas because we put our own twist on it, do you know what I mean? So
exactly, yeah. Like with Keeper's Universe, it was all based like, you have to make it work, you have to make it make sense. You can't create a super weapon out of thin air and say that I'm going to approve it. So that was also a fun challenge. I created a super weapon that could wipe out planets based on an ancient technology that was researched. It took me, the in-game was like a year and a half, but it's usually sped up for the real world. So it was like 3 weeks of me pouring through books, looking through things, talking to people, and like trying to figure out how to create a super weapon. But yeah, no. It's fun. It's both ways. I mean,
and checking other people's stuff out. It's more for inspiration, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't just lifted all the characters from like other things and said, oh right, well, Captain Kirk and Spock. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Corey Henderson, John Tahu. They are characters. Do you know what I mean? They are 100% what makes Chaos Nova, and the technology is sort of like everything's unique. Like the Genesis is unique, the Rejected Timber is unique. Alexis is one of the most unique ships ever. So
yeah, I'm waiting for you to finish that build, man.
One day.
One day. Yeah.
The Alexis Mark II has flown out from Alicia and is fighting at the front on the Void Cloud. It caught up with the Elysian Fields, which was one of Kythe's ships, and then she did her disappearing act again that she's so well famous for, and yeah, so the Alexis Mark II is out there. I just need to build it in real life now.
Well, have you settled on a design? Because that's going to be the important feature.
Yeah, I know the design. It's like a Oh, we used to get a chocolate bar in this country that was just like. Do you know what a woodlouse is? You know what a woodlouse looks like, don't you?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, really? Do you not get woodlouse in Canada? You probably call them something different. You lift up plant pots and everything, and like these little sort of armoured insects that can curl up into a ball.
Armadillos?
No. Armadillos are huge, aren't they? They're not insects. Go look up woodlouse. Hang on, woodlouse. Right, now basically the shape of that is the shape of the Alexis, but with directional thrusters and things like that. You know what I mean? It's quite a flat base, and then on top is quite it's arced on top and things like that, so it is a cargo freighter, but an Archaean cargo freighter, so, you know, Archaeos don't really build to one specific thing. They like to build their ships to have a multitude of uses, so it is meant to be a cargo freighter, but it's got like warship shit built onto it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When it was first built, the Alexis never had any weapons, and then over the years, as it's been destroyed and built back up, and there's this whole backstory like before the Alexis crew got their hands on it, it's the one surviving ship of that type left in the universe, and people have tried to put weapons on it before and things like that, and you can see when Corey picks it up for the first time that people have taken weapons consoles out, and there's like cutter marks on the externals, where on the external shell of the Alexis where people have cut out the old weapons, and that all needed repairing before they could take it into space and things like that. So yeah, it's just seeing the stuff develop from the Mark 1 all the way up to the Mark 2, and I know that sounds like a pretty silly 2, do you know what I mean? One gap, but it's changed so much. Yeah. Anyway, we're rambling, bro. Well, I'm rambling, and I'm not sure the viewers who don't really follow Chaos Nova are going to know what to think.
Yeah, it's always a good walk down memory lane to think about things that we've done in the past and all the pretty things we do. So, yeah, no, so the right side of the ship is almost all complete. I just have to make sure that the spacing is going to be appropriate for people to actually move through the ship. Like, I don't want to have people, like, bashing their heads if they go through the doors, so...
But I've always imagined, apart from like the main corridors where you have done like 3, I've always imagined the areas in the Rejected Timber to be quite cramped in, like the main rooms and things like that, especially the engine room. Like, there might be like one walkway down the middle of the engine room, but everywhere else around it is just chaos, do you know what I mean? Stuff moving, tools everywhere. It's not untidy, it's just busy, do you know what I mean?
Well, because you're always busy in there.
Yeah, always repairing things. But there you go, that's how the timber works. But yeah.
So that's the thing, is that like I wanted the idea that the timber was compact. I didn't like the idea that it would be just overwhelming. Because if it's overwhelming, like if it's too tiny or if it's too big, then no one's gonna believe it that it's an actual ship, because we look at ship designs of the future like Star Trek and Star Wars, see just how big everything is, and you're like, this can't actually work.
How did you get that into space? Unless you built it in space, good luck trying to get that off a planet with an atmosphere. But I like the timber because during... and the obsidian as well, especially now, where the obsidian is in the storyline. I love the fact that the corridors of these ships is quite closed in and that sort of thing, because it makes it almost feel like trench warfare, and the enemy we're going up against now, it feels very old school. So, like, you might be 2,000 years in the future in space, but we're still fighting wars in compact, compressed little areas. Our resources are low. We haven't got ammo to last forever. Do you know what I mean? It feels like proper trench warfare, all because of the shape of the corridors and things like that. So,
well, I think also at the same time, like it's the resources to build ships. Like, it's great to have the idea that we can have a ship, but how can we build it? Do we build it too big? Like the power requirements and all the stuff that comes with it. Like, it's such a daunting task, just the idea. And like, of course, you know, NASA's trying to build one now, I think too, eh? Like
they've got one that's got like a faster than light drive on it.
Yeah, they're working on it, but
yeah. Good luck with that.
I think I need to make a. Oh god, too bad you can't make a stone fence, because like I'm kind of worried about this
You can make stone fence.
You can make a stone fence?
You can make stone fence. I think it needs to be made out of cobblestone, but you can put 3 on the bottom row and then 3 on the row above that in the crafting table. Leave the top row empty and you'll make stone fence. But now you're going to have the problem of knowing that you've got only silk touch pickaxes and all this stone around you, and none of it will convert down into cobblestone.
Oh no, I got plenty of cobblestone.
Oh yeah? Okay, cool.
Just gotta go down into
engineering. But yeah, that has been a tour of the recently renovated / updated Rejected Timber. Look at this engine room. This is so cool. And next time we start the episode, I'm coming out from this room, and we're gonna show them
here for you.
Say again? Oh, it's all right. Well, I'll probably throw a hammock up here or some shit. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Oh, we can make a hammock.
Yeah.
Base, hold on. Make a hammock space.
Yeah. Ta-da! Job done. Excellent work. I just like sleep in this cubby hole. But yeah, I think next episode I'm going to walk out of here, and then all the pistons and stuff are going to be going off around us, and everything's going to be excellent. So I think that's where we'll start. But Roo.
Yo.
Say goodbye to the lovely people who have stuck with us until the very end of the episode through our ramblings.
Well, thank you all for listening to us in my Canadian accent and his British accent, and
your British accent, your Canadian accent is awesome.
Well, thank you.
And you only you only ever slip the A in at the end of questions. Like I find Kiwis say A more than Canadians, and I don't care if this causes controversy. I swear down. New Zealanders say A at the end of nearly every sentence, whereas you guys seem to say it mostly at the end of a question. So, I'm calling you out, Canada, and your anus. There you go. No worries. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we hope to catch you for the next episode. All the best. Take it easy. Bye-bye.